Hello again, this is PC Delta Link, back with more of our Enigmatica 2 Let's Play Normal Mode, and this is episode 83. Alright, before we start today, got a couple things to say real quick. One is, as of yesterday, we have crossed the 1-year anniversary since I started playing this mod pack. I first uploaded this series on December 21st, 2019. So yeah, it's been over a year since I decided to go ahead and jump onto YouTube and see if I could, do some Let's Plays on there just for fun. I just wanted something else to do. So, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I hope you all have enjoyed the series so far. We will keep going on the series. But, yeah, and the other nice thing about this is, well, the time of year, it's almost the end of 2020, and actually wanted to say to you guys all real quick, Merry Christmas, because this episode will be up before Christmas and the next one will not be. So yeah, Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you all are enjoying your holidays, either with or without family. Not sure how you guys are doing it with COVID. And yeah, the good thing is 2020 is almost over. 2020 has been absolutely awful. It's been a crappy year with COVID and everything, and it's just not been a good time for everybody. It's just sucked all around. So, yeah, I hope that you all are just getting a chance to relax this holiday season. Okay, so, first off, moving on to today, I did finally manage to get a hold of Horologium, the constellation that I said was really rare to show up in the night sky. It did finally show up about one in-game week after I'd last left off with you guys, maybe a week and a half, something like that. So, yeah, it didn't take too much longer to get it. But because of that, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Because of that and how rare it is, I went ahead and enchanted, like, 4 perfect crystals with Horologium for perfect for purity. And then 2 slightly lesser ones, just to get as much of those as I can, because who knows when that constellation will be back. The other thing I found out, you know how we talked about how you can take crystals of 100% purity or crystals of max size, not necessarily 100% purity, but crystals of max size and, drop them in liquid starlight and they could multiply. Well, if the crystals are attuned to a constellation, I wasn't sure how this would work. But, like, say it's attuned to Horologium and it splits off, it multiplies itself, then what actually happens is the new crystal will not have that attunement. So you can't just, like, take a rare attunement like Horologium and just multiply crystals to get more of it. It doesn't work like that. Only the original crystal will be attuned. So, yeah, something to keep in mind. We have spent more time multiplying crystals, and you can see I have 8 now that are 100% purity without being attuned to anything. We'll keep slowly multiplying this stash of crystals over time. And speaking of Astral Sorcery, something that's really cool right now is some of the blocks of Astral Sorcery actually have Christmas lights on them. So yeah, the Ruined Marble, the Marble Arch, the Engraved Marble, and the Marble Pillars. Actually, this looks like a wreath more than Christmas lights. But they all have lights on them right now. Even the painted cobblestone versions I got down here. See, this is painted cobblestone, and it's still having the light texture. And so do the marble pillars. Those also have Christmas lights on them. So it's really cool. Nice little touch that happens this time of year. I totally forgot about that. Where did you come from? Get out of here. So yeah, checking for shooting stars. Our altar over here is much more festive with all this on it. But yeah, I kind of like it. I totally forgot that it did this each year. So alright, also you might recall we had that Lucent scroll with the constellation Repuro on it. We did actually manage to get a hold of that constellation one night, and I did, draw it out, and then the scroll disappeared. And instead, I got knowledge for a corrupted ritual on Boetes. So, if you look over here, on the right side of the page, there's a new purple tab that says Corruptions. So it says, for the corrupted ritual, damaged creatures of the field are slaughtered, though with an overabundance of resources from their corpse. So basically more drops from your monsters during the ritual that are actually killed instead of preserved. So the corruption brings up another point where the, I believe it's faint constellations. Let me take a look here. Yeah, faint constellations like the Vorax, Gelu, Alcara, and Altaria. Those constellations. We had tried to, I believe it was previously Alcara we were playing around with, but we had tried to enchant a crystal with Alcara, and we could not get it to work. It would not accept crystal. But I found out what you had to do for that. So you can attune, because, you know, the attunement altar could be set up for them. You can attune crystals to those faint constellations, but it's not the same as a normal one. So they have to be attuned to a crystal that is already attuned to something else. So it doesn't matter what constellation, you know, it could be Fornax, Octans, Lucerna, etc. But you just had to have them attuned to something else. And then it adds a trait. So let me show you this. This one is our Armara crystal, and you see it says tuned to Armara, but then trait of Vorax. So this is now like a corrupted ritual crystal with the trait of Vorax. And if you look in... Sorry, I keep checking for shooting stars. If you look in the Astral Tome under Vorax here, it'll tell you for the ritual trait modifier what it does. So see, burning the candle at both ends may provide for more illumination, but it invites the following darkness all the faster. So that's kind of not necessarily crystal clear on how it works. I can tell you kind of how I've interpreted it, and it's kind of the same for all these faint constellations. You'd kind of have to figure it out, but like for this one, how I read this as the ritual is more powerful, but the durability on your crystal will be less, so it will not last as long. To give you another example, let's go to Gelu here, and see the ritual trait modifier. As the insidious cold diminishes output with its deep chill, so too does it spread wide its embrace. How I read that one is the ritual is less powerful, but its range is increased. So, yeah. So it could be kind of interesting to put some of those on your crystals. We also managed to get... Oh, they're in here. I've gotten 3 more shooting stars since I last saw you guys. And one of them... 2 of them we have more constellations to hunt for. We have Nenair and Pazeka. So we got to find those when I get the chance. And then if we look at our Astral Tome again, under... Oh, is it Octans? No. Actually, now that I look at it, I'm missing one that I had earlier. Octans, the 3rd star, had given me, like, knowledge about enchanting with Octans. But I don't know why that's gone now, because that was here earlier. That's really weird. Well, not a big deal. I wasn't planning on really enchanting with it anyway. So, alright, let's see. What else do we need to talk about today? So that's the main thing for that. Give me just a couple minutes so I can go check on something, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, we're back, and let me show you guys. We're almost done with Astral Sorcery, honestly. But there's a couple last things I want to show you guys. Probably not going to get too in-depth on them. And I might play around with them later on, but I'll just show you guys what we got. So for starters, there's these items called Resplendent Prisms, and these are located in the... Oh, which tree is it? Constellation? Yeah, Constellation Tree. So these are used to actually get enchantments that apply to every piece of gear that you currently have. So I'll explain a little bit more after we create one. Oh gosh, rain. Let me go shut the rain off. Okay. Jeez. Alright, so to make one of these, you need a shifting star, which this is made to remove your attunement to constellations, I believe. So you know how we're attuned to Decidia. If we look in our perk tree, we start off on Decidia. The shifting star is used to remove your attunement to a constellation so that you can change to a different constellation if you so desire. The catch being you will lose all levels of experience you've gained so far. So currently we're level 10, you'd be back at level 1 when you restarted. So this isn't too expensive. It's made with 4 aquamarine, 4 rune marble, 2 stardust, 2 illumination powder, and a liquid starlight. So let me get our bucket of liquid starlight here. Let me just put this here. That goes there, this goes here, and that goes there, and then that goes there. Alright, there's our shifting star, so let's go ahead and craft that. Make sure you don't accidentally right-click with that, because I think that uses it and would remove your constellation. So, keep that in mind. So, alright, now to craft the resplendent prism, this is 2 gold, strain, 6 stardust, the shifting star, and then an Eye of Ender. So, alright, let's go ahead and get this stuff in here. Then the gold and the strain. There we go. That's not necessarily the color you'll get. It's kind of random on what you get. So let's go ahead and just craft this. And look at this. It looks amazing when you're doing this. Okay, there we got ours. Now, what levels you get on here is completely random, and what enchantments you get are completely random. So, you can see in this case, we got +1 level to existing leech, and +1 level to existing respiration. So the thing about this is, when you wear this, and I'm assuming it's a necklace, I'm assuming it would take the place of my... Yeah, of my Nimbus amulet. That would be really hard to give that up, to be honest. Yep, can't put it anywhere else. So, yeah, so this is worn in the necklace slot for your baubles. And the thing about these prisms is, whatever levels it gives, it applies to every piece of gear you're wearing. So say you had, like, one of the protection, if you had protection placed on all your gear, which you could do that if you wanted to. If you had protection on all your gear, and then you had a enchantment that had, like, say, +1 level to existing protection, then say you had protection 4, all of your enchantments would then be protection 5. So it's actually very powerful in that sense when you think about it. If you get a good one. That's the catch, of course. I've done this a couple times now, and I have... This one I have +2 levels to existing Bane of Arthropods, +1 level to existing Venom... Yeah, +2 levels to Arthropods, Bane, and Thorns. Existing Reading. I have no idea what Reading is. I'm not very good with enchanting in this game. I've really never known necessarily... I don't even know what some of them do, to be honest. Efficiency, I think, is like how quick you can break blocks. So you can get that on your pickaxe, or how fast you swing. Something like that. Something to do with mining or breaking stuff. So, the other thing you can do, if you want to, so say you have this stuff, and it's like, well, this is all well and good, but... what if I get crappy enchantments, or what if I don't like it? So you can actually... Oh, I forgot to take this out. You can actually re-roll your amulets. So if you look in our Astral Tome again, if you come to the next page... I was just going to say, that sounded close. Get out of here. So if you go to the next page, you see you have a recipe to redo it with a resonating gem, bucket of starlight, and 2 stardust. Which is really not that expensive. So let's go ahead and grab that. Let me get another bucket of starlight here. Here it is. There we go. And it'll be a new prism with a completely new roll. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can end up spending a lot of time trying to get this perfectly right. But, I don't even know what any of these enchantments are. Bladerang, Flim Flam, and Zoomerang. Yeah, I have no idea. But, yeah, you guys can play around with that. Do what you want with those. You could try to get, like, the perfect amulet, you know? So you could spend a lot of time and a lot of resources doing that. But, hey, it's something you can do for endgame if you really wanted to. Something else I need to try real quick, if I can get it to work. And I meant to do this when we went over rituals last time, but I didn't get the chance to do so. So let me see if I can get this to work. Maybe not. Because I thought this resonator tool was able to show, like, the range of the ritual. But maybe it doesn't. Or maybe that was in a previous version or something. Oh, well, that was interesting. Maybe I was flying by the rituals aid and it kind of ended there. Let me try just one last thing real quick on that. Oh, I don't have my ritual anchor over here? I thought I did. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Let me just, we're just going to throw this here. And then take our linking tool. Nope, doesn't seem to show me like I thought it would. Oh well, it was worth a try. Let me grab that before I forget it's over here. Oh, go away. Okay. And let me take this crystal out before it breaks. Alright, I need an empty hand to do that. There we go. Alright, I'll have to figure out what that does later. Okay, so let me check our time here. And we got a little bit of time left. So, coming up, we're getting ready to move into our next tech mod. You know, I've kind of been alternating, going back and forth. We've done, like, magic mod, tech mod, magic mod, tech mod. That's kind of how we've been doing it for a little while. So, I believe the next thing we're going to do... Oh, yes, and I went through every tab in our quest book and claimed every reward that was pending. So none of those are blinking anymore. We actually finished the Astral Sorcery tab. So this is the first tab that we actually have complete in our quest book now. No, you don't get anything fancy for it. Doesn't play a cool sound effect or anything for it. So it's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, so... the next tech mod we're going to move into, I'm thinking about doing Embers here. Embers is like a... well, it says right here. It's a Dwarven-themed tech mod focused around collecting Ember from the core of the earth to fuel powerful magical contraptions. So, I've only seen like one spotlight video on Embers. I've really never used it before, but it looked really cool from what I saw, and I really want to play around with it because it does look fun. So we might even get started on at least getting the very basics of it and like get the book for it done in this episode. So after that, and this is kind of a magic and tech mod really. So after that, I haven't decided yet if we'll move into our next tech mod after that, or next magic mod. For magic, the next thing we're going to move into is blood magic. And this is probably the last major magic mod we're going to cover in this playthrough. I haven't gotten a whole lot of work done on blood magic over the years. I've really only dabbled in it. For instance, this is another thing that has like different altars, you know, blood altar tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5. I think I've only gotten up to like tier 2, and that was a long time ago. So I only know the very basics on some of this stuff. So that's going to just be something we're going to have to experiment and learn as we go. So for the next tech mod after that, I'm looking at probably forestry. Forestry is one of the oldest mods in the entire world of modded Minecraft. Has to do with some basic machinery. Has to do with bees is the bigger thing that it introduces. Beekeeping and bees are a huge deal. And then also, and this is kind of minor, but forestry, if you ever do an expert mode pack, forestry is like required. You need to know some basic forestry concepts to get by with it. Especially the carpenter and the thermionic fabricator. But we'll get into those when we actually start all this. So yeah, that's going to be our next, and forestry is kind of a smaller mod, and we have gendistry in this pack, which is going to make beekeeping a lot easier. So yeah, we'll get into that when the time comes. I am also at this time getting ready to move into some pretty powerful tech mods, or pieces of tech mods anyway. Some very high level stuff we're going to start looking at. Specifically, one thing from Draconic Evolution, we want to get a Draconic energy storage setup. Yeah, this is something I was working on between episodes, so we'll get to that when the time comes. Let me get rid of all these drops from the skeleton, the zombie, and whatnot. Oh, why'd I throw the bow in there? Should have trashed that. Oh well. So, yeah, in short, for the Draconic Evolution one, at least, I need a ton of Draconium, a ton of Awakened Draconium, ton of gold, and like more than I have. Like, I'll probably use over half of this Draconium dust doing this, and I need about, for some of the other upgrades I need, I'm going to need about 8,000 gold ingots, give or take. So I got some work to do. And also, we are going to be moving a new structure out here at some point. You can see we've placed a ton of torches. We're starting to reclaim this area from the spawns each night, because eventually, in the near future, we will be excavating this and redoing this for a structure we're going to build out here. But that's going to be a little while away. I was going to originally get started on that a lot sooner, but I looked at the material costs. It's like, yeah, not happening. So we'll get into that more once I actually get to that episode. Let's see. Another thing we're going to be moving into is, in partially to go with that thing I just lined up here, we're going to need better power cables pretty soon. Now, you know, we have our ultimate universal cables here, and these have a capacity of 128,000 RF per tick. So, yeah, originally I thought these were infinite, could hold infinite, but no. Since the cable only holds 128,000, it makes sense that that's the maximum rate it can transfer. I believe we found this out when we were doing nuclear craft, and we set up our fusion reactor down here, and one cable was not enough to take all the power out of this thing that it was generating. You might recall. Also, while we're down here, random note is this thing is perfectly at 100% efficiency, has been for basically forever now. And that's because if you look, we have placed water coolers around basically every facet of this thing. And I don't know why the liquid's not in the pipe on there, because, yeah, the water is in the pipe. See, it says water, 56,000 out of 56,000. But yeah, every single segment has water blocks cooling it, and it's just enough. If you look at our active cooling rate, we are at 99% cooling rate, so yeah, we literally can't make it cool any better without going under, and then we'll actually start dropping temperature. So yeah, we've maintained 100% efficiency on this and 256,000 RF per tick for several hours at this point without any problems at all. Sorry, but because of that, yes, we are going to need eventually better cables. And honestly, I only know of one cable that's better. I'm going to go away from the water here. I only know of one cable that's better, and that is the... Here it is. The cryo-stabilized flux duct. This is from Thermodynamics. It is an extremely high-level cable, because if you look at the transfer rate here, transfer infinite RF per tick. So, yeah, that is obviously as good as it gets. The problem with these is they are very expensive. And I'm nowhere near ready to get started on these. We gotta do a lot of work to set up for this. So the first thing we need is you have to forge the cryo-stabilized flux duct empty. which this takes fused quartz, which is just nether quartz in the furnace, fused quartz with electrum, 4 electrum, and resonant flux duct. Resonant flux duct comes from 3 signalum flux ducts, to get 3 of these, and a bar of Enderium, with some redstone. Signalum flux ducts is redstone energy flux duct with signalum, for 3 for 3. And then finally these come from empty redstone energy flux duct in a fluid transposer with destabilized redstone. And the redstone energy flux duct, finally, at the end of the chain here, is 2 electrum, and it has hardened glass, but fused quartz works too. There's fused quartz. And this gets you 6. So that is absolutely an insane chain. And then that's not even everything, because you also need this, gelid cryothium, which is a very high-level liquid, very hard to get a hold of, because it comes from this cryothium dust in a melter or a magma crucible, either one. The cryothium dust comes from snowballs and redstone. These are easy to get, snowballs and redstone. Blizz powder. Blizz powder is not easy to get because it comes from blizz rods, or it comes from infusing snowballs with liquid experience, essence of knowledge, or just monster essence, or essence, okay. So this is why we're going to be building a mob farm pretty soon to start grinding out this liquid experience, because we need this for blizz powder. The only other way to get blizz powder, and this is not very practical, is from blizz rods. Blizz rods, you may have not even heard of these enemies or ever encountered them. I've only seen one like once or twice my entire career in Minecraft. But like there are blazes in the nether, there are blizzes in the overworld, in some of the ice biomes. Not all of them. They only spawn in like a specific one, I believe. And even then, they are very rare. So I might try to run around and see if I can find one, but it took me forever just to find the ice biome when we needed the snowballs back when we were doing Thaumcraft. So I don't think we're going to get lucky enough to find one. Because if I found one, I could just use a soul vial, capture it, and then spawn it in our mob farm. That'd solve most of this problem. But I don't think we're going to get to do that, so yeah, it is what it is. But that's going to be up and coming in the future. So I suppose the only thing really to do before I end this, let me go to Embers here. And how do I... Oh, I had to craft the Ancient Codex. Let me just start with this. So the Ancient Codex... Well, let me... I know we're almost out of time, but let me take a look here. Yeah, Archaic Brick, Ancient Motive Core, another Archaic Brick. So we should have all these. Yeah, we got some Archaic Bricks right here. Ancient Motive Core, yeah, we got a few of these. Alright, that gets us the Ancient Codex. So we'll go ahead and claim that. Let me take a look at this. Looks like we only have one tab open. Love the book. Oh, this looks cool. Okay, so some basic stuff here. Caminite. Mixed from clay and sand. Okay, so that's going to be something we'll start on this more next episode. To where you get those archaic bricks and the molten cores, let me show you guys, because I believe there's one close by, or somewhat close by. Or at least I thought there was. Ah, is this one? Yeah, this is one. So these structures can be underground, or they can be in the overworld. But it's these bricks right here. And yeah, they'll have this buddy inside them, an ancient golem, who has a lot of health. And he also has a ranged magic attack, as you just saw. Let's see if he'll do it again. Yeah, there's a little fireball. So if you kill him... I'm not sure how he fired after I died, but we'll ignore that. See, he drops the ancient motive core and some archaic bricks. So, and you could probably mine all this up if you wanted to as well. These are very small structures. I don't believe there's anything in them. But, yeah, so that tells you where to get those. So, yeah, we'll get started on Embers next time. And we'll probably come back to Astral Sorcery if I get something new worth showing you guys. But otherwise, for now, we're pretty much done with Astral Sorcery. So, alright, I believe that's going to be it for today. So, yeah, once again, Merry Christmas to you all. And I do have some time off work coming up, so we should be able to get more work done on here lately. And I've also managed to pull myself away from Cyberpunk for a little while. Cyberpunk, I know that's kind of a hot button topic on some people because there are issues with the game, to be sure. That's putting it mildly, I know. But I'm lucky enough my laptop can run it, even though it really shouldn't be able to, but it's running it fairly decently. And it's way under the specs that some people are saying they're having trouble running it, but I'm running it on medium settings just fine. But, you know, there's tons of glitches on it still, and yeah, now there's a thing going around where your save file can get corrupted if it gets too big, so for now we've basically quit playing it. So yeah, I do like the game so far, Cyberpunk, but definitely I agree there is a lot of problems with it, and it never should have released in how bad of a state it was in. So, but yeah, that's off topic, but just wanted to throw that out there. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you have a great day and a great Christmas, and I will see you all next time.